All power is to oppress people, African power to an African people, and black power. It's your brother Yang and Kruma coming to you again, man. And I'm always glad, I'm always pleased to have the opportunity to come to people. Once again, I'm doing my thing. I call this little segment portion of my life when I try to contribute back to the people, tribal voice. And why tribal voice? Because it's part of the One Tribe Initiative. The One Tribe Initiative. And what the One Tribe Initiative is it is an understanding that the black African in America, the black man and woman here in America are a conglomerate. We don't make up, we're not one thinking, one acting, one behaving, one perceiving our life people. We have, we are a people full of variety. And this is what goes to our greatness. This is what I believe, I would love to believe has been one of the instruments we've used, been able to use to help us get through the tumultuous and turbulent times of our existence here on the shores of North America. Uh, so the tribal initiative is just that. It is embracing the differences and the different ways we perceive life, the different ideas we have, and just all of these things. It's embracing those, putting them together for the purpose of coming up with a solution to some of the problems we face as a people. What's going on, son?
What's going on, Yanga? What's good, man?
Man, chilling, man. I decided to come live. I see the queen of the camp, Sister Nundy, wasn't on today. So I decided to jump out there. Let me do like always, send my shouts out to Sister Nundy.
Right.
And preferably she may, who knows, man, we may be blessed with her gracing
Man, I would love to
the
hear from
channel. So that will be
her. Yeah.
what's up. Man, I
Yeah.
and another reason I decided to jump live is just everything that's going on, all the excitement, all the buzz, all the rigmarole and shit. Man, you know what? Let's talk about some of that.
Okay. I
Since it's in
mean,
the air, and we
okay.
don't have to get into specifics
That's fine.
because I don't get into so much of the name calling. I'm not so interested in someone's personal life
Right.
as
Exactly.
opposed to their philosophies, ideologies, and the effect that this belief system that they're propagating will have on black people. So, and I believe this: when you espouse an ideology or a belief system, when you put it out there, it reserves it had, you're opening it up for critiques and criticism.
That's right. That's facts. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't put
Facts.
it out there and then not expect anyone to say something about it.
That's right.
You know, um, so we're looking on it, and all of that is crazy. Let me say this, man. Shouts out to Solar Vision Debate League. Shouts
That's
out
right.
to the new debater brother Strap, man. I think he's gonna add a great boost with some of the already strong debaters that are in there. That's a good look. I saw the interview today. If you haven't seen the interview, go back, check it out. You can catch it on Solar Vision Debate League's channel. Subscribe and like that shit. I mean, there's some strong debaters in there. And I know there have been a lot of people that have had a problem with the passion that has been accompanying some of the debaters, but I'm one personally who don't have that problem. What's good, Mellow Cap? I'm one personally who doesn't have that problem. What do you feel about, son? I mean, what's your position on all some of the passion or some of what people would call the extra that's accompanying the debaters in the league?
Well, when I first came in, I thought it was like an intimidating tactic because when you see new, raw, fresh talent coming in, like yourself, like Brother Moses, who I debated last night, I think the top tiers, the old dogs, feel threatened. You know, they've gotten comfortable. They've created this elitist type of atmosphere, and they feel like they don't want that taken away from them. You know how black people are with power, man. It's a form of
Yeah.
nepotism. Yeah, it's nepotism. At its finest, and you know, you got people like I'm gonna call out the names, Jenga. I mean, you know, I'm from the
Man,
West Coast.
hey man, help yourself. You know, I don't give a damn.
Okay, A9. You know what I'm saying? He got so scared to where he came to Nandy's camp when he never did and made peace. When it just so happens you come in the scene, you know. Domo. Domo's been creeping in Nandy's chat room and he's scared, dude. So, you know, I say that to say this is that, yeah, the new talent is here. Black nationalism is here, you know, but
Yeah.
when we're gonna get into that in 1 second. You know, we're gonna get into the whole black nationalism and this whole B1 thing. We're gonna touch on that, but yeah, I think it's just the old guard. And I guess my question to you is: this new guy Strap is actually an old veteran. So what is he talking about? I mean, what is he? I mean, what's his stance? I mean, I didn't watch the interview, so I don't know what happened.
I actually, and I came on, they didn't have a hound session. Solar was like, since he's already part of the league, uh, they didn't feel the need for a hound session, but it did open it up for questions, challenging questions, comments, and opinions. I first got on, it was kind of silent. So when I first got on, what I did was I pretended to be a capitalist, son. I think you'd have been
Oh,
proud of me, bro.
okay, okay,
You know,
okay. Oh, I
yeah,
wish I could have
yeah.
just seen that alone. Damn.
Okay. So it was,
Oh shit, hold on. You there yet?
uh,
Oh shit, okay.
it's, it was, it was interesting. And why I say it was interesting, what I was trying to do is just throw something out there to see where he was coming from and what he was about. I mean, it's obvious he's not a capitalist,
Okay.
but I didn't really see those proponents and champions of capitalism really stepping up to challenge him. What did come out of it was an interesting debate between him and Chris.
Him and Chris,
That shit's
okay.
gonna be good. That shit is gonna be good.
Okay, okay.
Is
Hmm.
is is cryptocurrency capitalism?
I would say so, but okay.
I mean, and Strap's taking the position that it isn't, and I gotta hit it
Oh
because,
wow.
like, yeah, like he and I, we share some of the same views. I believe, but this here, I have to see how, because I mean, and he went into a little bit of it. But my understanding and definition from the classical definition of capitalism, I would have had to say off the rip, instantaneously, if asking for an answer, I would have said yes, just based
Okay.
off the traditional classical definition of capitalism, which is, to paraphrase, um, private ownership, free
Right.
market competition.
Right.
So I would have said yes. I would have said crypto is the evolution of capitalism, is an aspect of evolution. But Strap brought up some very interesting points about capitalism being free from from government interference, and he pointed out how the fiat currency and through inflation and other methods is clearly being influenced by the government. So, like I said, I don't, and that's those two just touching on it. So I know that shit is going to be hot in the debate. You can definitely believe that I will be paying attention.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be so that came out of it.
Okay.
Brother Domo did jump on there. And that was interesting. So,
Really?
like I
Okay.
said,
Okay.
it's gonna be some hot shit. I think though, when I think about the controversy that comes with, like I said, I'm one who believes that passion is going to accompany a debate.
Absolutely.
There's no,
Yeah.
especially if you're choosing, which a lot of times I would venture to say, I'm not a gambling man, but I would, probably wage that 8 times out of 10, the side that you choose on a debate is the side you believe in and might even be very passionate about. So
Right. Absolutely.
that energy is going to accompany the debate,
Oh,
right?
every
I
time. Every
think
time.
that
Every time.
every time. And
Mm-hmm.
I hear what people are saying about respect, about how disagreements are addressed, about how whatever you feel about a thing is addressed. What I don't agree with though is the bias. I know people may say I'm
Yeah.
biased because I rock with Nundy,
Right, right.
but I
Okay.
mean, I have heard her drug. I mean, I have heard they like a Queen Mammy type thing. I've heard Nundy's name come up in so much stuff, and you when
Yeah.
Nundy comes back, it's an issue. I think that baffles me. I don't think that brothers are as articulate as they believe. I
Right.
believe that sometimes the brothers think that they're so articulate that they're sweet talking bullshit.
Exactly. I agree with that, brother.
You
You
know,
know.
when I was little, what did we used to call it when we were little? Using big words.
And I don't like the hypocrisy because Dome will be the first one to say, "Oh, well, let the women handle the women and the men handle the men," but then he jumped on Nundy like a punk ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? I understand that okay, you may agree or disagree, but don't. I mean, let Nundy rock out the way that's her channel. Shit, what the fuck?
Yeah,
She has a right to express, just like this Moonfly has a right to express on argumentally that we should abort black babies. So if she
yeah,
can say abort black babies, then Nundy can say fuck that fuck shit. I mean,
right
what's the problem? What's the
on
problem?
her channel. I
On
think
her
you know
channel.
what, and it's like you said. I don't think that they, a lot of the brothers, maybe their efforts are sincere. And here I am trying to be sweet. I'm trying to use every word with honey, and I don't know why, but just trying to be, because I know this shit is gonna. I'm gonna have to come back and chop one of these niggas' heads off with a samurai sword. I know
Absolutely.
eventually, because
Absolutely.
Negroes be very sensitive when you tap onto their egos.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: I don't, because that's what I don't understand. I don't understand how everyone can say, "Let the women handle the women. Let the women handle the women,"
Right.
and clearly here you have a motherly figure in Nundi
Right. Grandmother. Right.
chastising a younger woman.
Right.
I agree with them. Let the women handle the women. How they talk to one another. I listen. If that's how they're going to convey the message, and if that's what works, they should be allowed to do that. I also believe here's what I think is hypocritical. I first think it's funny how anyone would defend. Um, but we've said that. We've said that. I don't get it. I don't know how you defend, how you call yourself black first and defend people who would uh come against what you perceive as blackness. You know, I that part I don't understand. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I was trying to clear. So yeah. And when people are standing up, def- when people are standing up defending themselves, they have a problem with that. I mean, I
Right.
could go on, but it gets redundant when it's one-sided. So I won't
Right.
just beat a dead horse about it. You know, I if anyone out there who takes that position in the chat or whatever, that the defense of these women, despite what they say against the race, is the right thing to do, man, you're more than welcome to hit the platform, to come up and say anything. Help me to understand it. Help me to show where it's just not some bondage shit, some woman fetish. A lot of these Negroes have. Yes, mother, may I have another? Yes, mother, may I have another? Help me to know,
Facts. Facts.
that this is not a woman's fetish masquerading as gallantry, masquerading as some type of gentlemanness. There is a certain thing called suckerism,
Right.
you
Yes.
know, and suckerism, I guess it's a such thing. I'm
No, no,
street
no.
hustling.
Roll with it. Roll with it. I like it. Shit. That's how words are born,
But
baby.
suckerism what I would translate is anything that gets you to go against the natural disposition of your human self. Like I'm saying, self-preservation is the first law of survival. So how do you defend something that hurts you? People we see doing that, we say have a disorder.
Right.
When we say our
Absolutely.
sisters, these very sisters, whom my sisters point out are in these domestic violent relationships, and when they try to get rescued, many times they suffered from this battered wife syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
There's, oh, he loves me, he didn't mean it, I angered him. This type of very serious psychological issue. Brothers, I think, can suffer from that also to a degree. There is so much pressure for the black man to be utilized in society, to prove that he is not worthless, to prove manhood to himself in the form of defense, that we would defend anything. You know, we would defend anything. To me, I'm going to be honest, the defense of these women, I'm not going to say sisters, because clearly they don't look at me as their brother. So the defense of these women who let you know that there is nothing you can do to prove that you are good, to the degree that you will attack other men, to me is the equivalent of when I'm dealing with these young niggers. That's why they say, why you call me a nigger? When I'm dealing with these young niggers and you step on their shoe and they say, you disrespected me. Where you're placing your respect is off kilter. What you're deeming and perceiving as a respect factor is off kilter. You feel like you're being respectful, or you're being gallant, or you're being chivalrous because you're defending womanhood, but you're not defending black womanhood. This is what you have to understand. You're defending melanated females. Like what you're talking about, these what you call black men, what I call niggers,
Right.
this behavior and all of this destructive shit and this cowardly behavior and this gluttonous, consuming, lustful behavior you say that black men exhibit. I wouldn't call them black men. I would call them melanated males.
Right.
Because you have a swinging dick doesn't make you a man.
Right.
It just makes you a male. Put you in the male gender. That's it. So I think that when they begin to make like all of these indictments, they're so sweeping. Not just are they, the statistics they bring, the facts they bring when they say these black women, not only are they so vague that the crimes perpetrated against these black women, as Queen Nundy so eloquently pointed out one day, could be perpetrated by any person. It's what we're calling manhood. It's what we're calling manhood. And they, by their own admission, are saying that these melanated males are not black men. They're not living up to manhood. And I would agree with them on that. Here's where we disagree. That they begin to promote and push that is inherent, that is a genetic trait, inferiority, criminal behavior, laziness, and cowardliness. And that's where our roads part.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to point out to the brother. You can't you defending something just for the sake of saying you're defending, man. That's a rest hate. So yeah, man. So when you have a sister that comes back and says, listen, that thinking is crazy thinking. It's not advantageous to black people because she's a black nationalist. She gets attacked.
Right.
And they call them like this catering or pandering to black men, but I don't know if they know the same Nundy I know. Nundy tears into a black man. She tears Elijah Muhammad's ass up. She tears
Every time.
Dr. King's ass up.
Every time.
She will
Time
tear into black men.
tearing the
So
Marcus
I
Garvey,
don't
tearing
think
the
it's
Fela
so
Kuti.
much
Oh yeah.
uh
Tearing the Marcus Garvey, tearing the Fela
Marcus
Kuti.
Garvey right. I
Yeah.
don't think it's I think that what Nundy offers is real opposition to that bullshit that they're pushing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She's exposing it. And they don't like that. And these same men that call themselves defending women are really misogynistic, chauvinistic, patriarchal motherfucking tyrants masquerading as gentlemen. And these sisters know it. They just let them dumb Negroes play themselves as sentries to stupidity, to put themselves out there, to stand before the stupidity. Them sisters know them brothers misogynistic, chauvinistic, and macho.
Right.
Hell, Moonflower checked Big J for that shit. She told her, I don't need you to defend me. I don't need you standing up and explaining what I mean in it. That's very chauvinistic.
Right.
These brothers, what these brothers doing, masquerading it as gentlemanness and gallantry, is chauvinistic.
Right. Right. Good point. God damn, man. That's a good point.
But since they already practice neo-colonialism, since they already emulate the white man in their intentions, in their sentiment. I'm not talking about what they say. I share them, and if you listen, sometimes black nationalists and these B1s or whatever, they will sound similar.
Right.
But it's the intentions and the sentiment behind what's being said is one of the major differences.
Right.
So it doesn't surprise me when you already think this system we live in is a adequate system. When you think that black men aren't shit and they will never get it together, the same way the oppressing ruling class thinks of us, then it doesn't surprise me that you naturally don't fall into some chauvinistic, excuse me, my throat, some chauvinistic macho mode. It's not surprising. This is what the white man does.
Mm-hmm.
And some of you Negroes don't know how closely you emulate that savage, thinking you're doing something for these women. You're chauvinists.
Right.
You're implying that these women are damsels in distress. And a lot of these women are playing you
Absolutely.
by taking on that role when it's appropriate. Dropping the handkerchiefs when it's appropriate. And just yesterday, you was a PlayStation garbage bag toting Dusty or something.
Right, yeah, right.
Now they drop the handkerchief. They want you to put the coat over the water puddle. Tell the white boy to pick up the handkerchief. Why the white boy ain't coming on here championing you? Why are all these black men championing women that don't like you?
I don't know.
If you don't want to get in my crosshair, brothers, send your white counterpart. Don't you bring your melanated ass and then want me to respect your blackness when you're speaking against black advancement and black excellence.
Facts.
Don't bring your kinky head self. Don't bring your beautiful melanated self speaking ugliness, black man. Or I'm gonna call you black man now, but when you're behaving like a nigger, and this is what you're doing, and then want me to respect yo, well, why we ain't black, brother? Why we can't get along because we black? Because you are a collaborator.
Sweet.
You're a collaborator. This is why we can't build on a common blackness. You're using your black to help bring in a erroneous philosophy, but a damaging one,
Right.
a damaging philosophy. And you want to use your black to get a pass with a real black nationalist. Man, that shit don't fly with me. I'm a real black nationalist. I'm a real black nationalist. I speak to anybody. You want me to address men out here displaying destructive behavior, having destructive language, but you don't want me to address the women? Or are these classes, brothers? What if you get a sister out here saying she wants to get high, she wants to sell her body, she wants to do all of these things? Do you talk against destructive behavior, or do you say, oh, she's a woman, that's her choice?
Good point.
Leave her alone.
Right.
If I go say, hey, sister, maybe
Right.
there's a better way than crack cocaine. Am I wrong?
Right.
What if she wants to
No,
smoke?
that's what it's
Will
gonna get
this
to.
will this Negro done me? Da da da. Leave her alone. She can get high.
Right.
You know. I mean, where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
Destructive behavior is destructive behavior. Where do you draw the line? And clearly we see from a lot of their own admission, the line can't be drawn or won't be drawn because it brings the smoke. It brings the likes. See, I am so new to this YouTube stuff. People were telling me about content. I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know, it was like, people talk about how they create content. I had no idea. Because you know me, son. You know, I would come to the state, we would do the show, but for the most part, I'm in the streets.
Right, absolutely. Facts.
You know, I take the approach that revolution will be had through day-to-day interaction with the dialects of the day-to-day dialectics of the people.
Right.
You know, so I mean, I teach to a degree, but I've never, had a platform like this or understood how these platforms work or the potential that these platforms hold. But with great potential, like everything with great potential, it also runs the risk of having the potential for great harm.
That's right.
And I think that sometimes this is what we run across. We run across these people that have these ideas, and everyone's entitled to their opinion and to spit their ideas, but they really hate when those ideas are challenged.
Facts.
And challenged solidly. So what do you think? So tell me what you think. Black nationalism, what's being masqueraded as black nationalism out here and everything. What do you think?
Well, I think what they're coming into where black nationalism, if they do their history, was already established with Malcolm X. So this whole B1, it's like these niggas got their own type of nigga intelligentsia going, their own elitist group going, and I mean you saw it last night. I mean, and I don't want to put Brother Moses out there, but he in the debate he said B1, then Brother Moses. So he had B1 on his back. This is Taz's number 2 man. So I asked him some real life questions. Now, black nationalism, we deal with health, we deal with science, we deal with nutrition. This brother had no clue. He like you said, B1 sounds like a defeatist ideology. So if you got B1, I mean, if you're gonna yield to the system, then what's the purpose of B1? What is the purpose of it? Because if you listen to last night's debate, Yanga, he was still begging the Congress and pass Bill 74, and yeah, right, Farmers Land Act. You know, the farmers have a lawsuit with the USDA right now. But he was pleading and begging last night with us begging the federal government. Man, that goes back to, you know, how we kind of huddled and said, man, he's chasing fantasy fiat, brother.
Yeah.
It's fantasy fiat, man. And it's like we're still begging in 2022. We still begging?
Yeah.
I mean, damn. Oh, go ahead, man.
No, I was just congratulations on that win last night, man. That was strong.
I mean, it surprised me because I thought, you know, like I said, he mentioned Amos Wilson, and I said, oh, he's going to go there. He's going to bring some B1 philosophy, and he had just dropped Amos Wilson and went straight to the goddamn white man's Congress. Okay, you got a few black faces in here, and they look like they goddamn a step away from having a heart attack, goddamn stroke, and all kinds of goddamn ailments. I mean, it's like, dude, it's like me going to a 300-pound woman for goddamn nutritional advice. Like, where do we get back? See, we have become so liberal and so goddamn politically correct that we now back in the day, we didn't go to a fat person for goddamn our physical education. You had to look a certain way. You had to look the look.
Right.
You know, it's funny, you know, Solar was trying to be funny with me, but he brought up Hitler. Now, we always talk about Hitler, you know, always, you know, he wanted a superior race and superior soldiers, and he tested out things like steroids and methamphetamines, and, you know, he was the mad, you know, he was going to rule the world with this, you know. But it's funny because when Jesse Owens went to the Olympics, you know, he wanted the Jesse Owens. He recognized that excellence.
Yes.
And that's what he wanted. He wanted that superior diet.
Mm-hmm.
But
I thought that was a killer point.
I mean, he brought it up. I wasn't even thinking about it until I'm like, oh, I'm glad you brought that up, brother. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about it. But yeah, that's a point. That's a part of our history that we don't talk about, because, you know, when Jesse Owens came back here, we blackballed him because we didn't want him. Now you send him over there to Germany in the Olympics when you know Hitler was hosting it, and so by being a black man, he was being cordial, and now when you come back, you blackball him here because
absolutely,
yeah.
What they blackball him for?
For talking to Hitler.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how America. That's the hypocrisy of America.
Right.
You know, that's the hypocrisy of America. America wants to treat her black. And I'm not going to say
the one that sent them over there. They the one that sent them over there in the first place.
This is what I mean. How America does. America will treat her black residents, her black inhabitants, any kind of way, and then send us to represent her,
right,
across the world.
Right.
And I think what they get pissed about when we do that, like some of us sell the fuck on out. And we go over there and we just acquiesce. We, you know, get in and we wave the red, white, and blue, and we wear the Uncle Sam hat and shit. And then you have those of us like Jesse Owens, like the Malcolm X's, like the Paul Robesons, like the Muhammad Ali's. You have those of us that has the world's attention and will bring a light to the problem of the millions of black Africans here in America.
Right.
And that's when they get pissed with us.
Right.
They say, why are you putting all our dirty laundry out there? This is the problem with civil rights. We gave you civil rights. We're making strides. Right. Why y'all going telling the whole world we ain't doing shit?
Right.
You know, so that's the problem they have with us.
Right.
And this is where we don't take advantage of every opportunity we have to bring attention to our plight. And one of the reasons I would dare say is I think our plight has become so diluted the more when we integrated, and the longer we stay integrated, the more that it appears we have certain rights. Our struggle for equality, and not even just equality, for equity and
Right.
liberation is always subverted.
Right.
You know, it gets diluted, clouded.
Right.
You know, you hear them all the time. It's like you said, a lot of these philosophies. That's why I say black nationalism, because you can put
Absolutely.
black on anything
All
now.
day. All day. Right. 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 B1 and whatever else.
Yeah,
these new.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
These
can
new
you can put
terms.
black on anything.
Yeah. B1
So
has no
you know, I
history.
need to know clearly, huh?
B1 has no history. Black nationalism has history. Like I said, it was
Yeah,
born with black. It's born before
and-
Malcolm X, but Malcolm X really, honed it. It was
yeah, he
actually,
honed it.
yeah.
Malcolm was like the if if I equated black nationalism to revolutionary sciences like Marxism or something.
Right.
Okay, we know Karl Marx. Malcolm would be like, okay, black nationalism would be like Martin Delaney, who is the father of
Right.
black nationalism, would be like Karl Marx, and Malcolm would be like Lenin.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do. I do.
It would be uh Delaney
So I
Xism or
guess
some shit like that. You
so.
know,
I guess Dr. Khalid Mohammed would beat Stalin then.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I ain't throw that in there. I'm sorry, you
Or more either that or Trotsky, probably more of a
Trotsky.
Stalin though. If he had the
Okay.
power, probably more of a Stalin. If we're comparing
Okay.
story, because Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad was taking heads.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably would have been more of a Stalin. And I happened to be blessed enough to be around. I wasn't in the Panthers at that time, but I was in Cleveland
Yeah. Right.
when when Dr. Khalid was coming up with Gina May, the substitute for Thanksgiving. So I
Mm-hmm.
had the honor and the privilege to have been around him when he and a lot of other great minds in Cleveland were constructing this thing. And
Yes.
when I tell you a man's man, son,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you ever been around one of those black people, one of those black men to step in the room and the energy change?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I have.
Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad was that type of dude.
Absolutely.
I mean, even amongst other respectable men, he
Right.
held a presence. And that's because, if you ask me, he really practiced what he preached
Yeah. He did.
to the best of human ability. This man was censored by the United States government.
Right.
Censored.
I remember that. Yeah. King College. Yep.
Who censors you? The Congress,
Congress.
they
Congress.
all
Yep.
vote, Democrat, Republican,
Yeah.
everybody
All
voted,
them crackers. All them crackers. Shit.
all the crats,
Right.
sauerkrats,
I like that. All them crackers.
Dixiecrats, Democrats, sauerkrats,
Right.
you know, everybody, Republicans, everybody agreed, voted
Yeah.
to silence, to censor
Yeah.
this man's speeches and writings. A country that so-called give you, this is what, when
Freedom of
they talk about
speech.
revolution, this is what we talk about pushing the contradictions.
Absolutely.
A system that says you have a constitutional right to the freedom of speech has actually said someone has spoken to such a degree that they invoke censorship.
Mm-hmm.
They totally disagree with his speeches and his writings, and so much that they censor it. That's heavy. I don't know if let that uh uh just kind of resonate with the people, because that is heavy. So yeah, trying to put the link again for the people. So we so that would be the thing of Malcolm. Malcolm would be like the Lenin to me because Malcolm, where Martin Delaney,
Yeah, yeah, definitely Lennon. Yeah.
yeah, where Martin Delaney began to espouse black nationalism, and remember, you know, people, and this is why, yo, give me a son some time. I'm about to get next to son. I'm getting my computer stuff together. Went through some personal family things, but
Okay.
once I'm together, I like these presentations people put together.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I'm going to put together a presentation because I think really to get the maximum out of what we're saying, even for our debaters, I think information has to be put out there. Like I'm not
Absolutely,
quite
yeah.
certain a lot of these people that calling themselves black really even know who Martin Delaney is.
Absolutely, right, right.
So we have to
Absolutely.
start to make the distinction between all of these black groups and black nationalist groups.
That's right.
You know, I think that is important to know because everybody, hell, you got black Republicans, black Democrats,
That's right.
black Hebrews, black Muslims. You can put black in front of everything.
Yeah, that's a fact. Facts.
You know, I want to know your ideology. I want to know your ideology. You know, I'm a spiritualist. So when you ask me a question about these spiritual black groups, generally for black people, nah. If you ask me individually, do I believe in black spiritualism or black theology? Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Because I don't believe in, like, here's the difference to me. Black Muslims, you know what they believe. If you join the black Muslims, they have in stone what they believe. And you should know what to expect and what to get out of it. You know they don't participate in the political process. You know they don't carry guns, so don't look for armed conflict. You know they don't, eat pork, so don't look for barbecues and cookouts to solve the solution. But when you have now, so I respect any group, even if they're using black, that their ideology and philosophy is clearly spelled out. I respect that, even if I don't agree with it. What I'm always concerned about is groups that say black and don't have a clear ideology. And when you begin to point out that what they're doing is contrary to blackness, to black people as a mass, then they either have a problem with it or can't really explain how it isn't.
Or they go
They
too
have a
many
problem
far.
with you pointing it out or can't explain how it isn't hurting us as a mass. Now,
Right.
like I said, if you say black capitalists, which you have black capitalists,
That's right.
we know what to look for.
Facts.
These are these black people that only believe that a certain economic class should have the right of continuance. And they will go so far, some of them will go so far to know that they won't be accepted in white America. So they will build black capitalist institutions and communities to mirror white America.
Right. Yep.
You got what? You got black Beverly Hills, you got Baldwin Hills. I mean, you got
Yep.
Beverly Hills, you got Baldwin Hills.
Facts.
You see, you have a black bourgeoisie.
Yeah.
This isn't necessarily always bad, but that's a whole revolution class because capitalism was birthed. Capitalism wasn't just, there is a thing called a pre-capitalist era. Uh-oh, dun, dun, dun. You ain't gonna say something.
Yeah. Break it
Because a
down.
lot of us don't understand the pre-capitalist era. That's what I am. I'm a communalist. And then we can go into my economic philosophy, my political philosophy, but overall, my social philosophy is communalism, collectivism, not I believe that individualism is Eurocentric. I believe it is a Eurocentric ethic.
Right.
Individualism. They push that shit on us. The rugged individual, the Lone Ranger. They push that on us. Just pull yourself up by the bootstraps. All the while they have put a system in place that ensures to a certain degree their survival.
Right.
Because and that in itself really means they don't practice rugged individualism. It's like what Domo pointed out earlier today on Brother Straps show. Capitalism creates a safety net for a certain class.
Right.
At the expense of the
Well,
masses.
on one hand, Domo acts like a goddamn reformist, and on the other hand, he acts like just some type of liberal anarchist. Like where his stand flip flop is a little flip floppy to me. I mean, what is his ultimate stance? Is it just to reform the system that of white supremacy? Is it? I mean, I'm a little confused.
I don't. You know what? I don't know. That'll be a good question. Maybe he and I'll be able to have that discussion. I know from the debate you had with Moses.
Yeah.
Moses seems to be a reformist. He seems to
Yeah.
think
Oh,
that we can.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's defeatist. Like I said, everyone from Taz's camp, B1, are defeatists. They're all defeated.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course he's gonna run to the federal government and the USDA of all people. Oh my God. The USDA, man, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But yeah, he definitely showed. I mean, he was such a capitalist that he had no concern to his health, and then he got backed in the corner last night because he came with the realization, damn, does my health really matter? Yeah, health has to come first.
Yeah.
There's no way around that.
Yeah. But it man, no way. But it's like it goes back to that the whole thing you just said in the beginning. When we caught up in this capitalist system, and then like you and I have said before, and we've heard it said, consumer capitalism. Yeah. So I knew, listen, when you told me that debate and you told me the title, I knew that was gonna stomp, that was gonna stump him. That was gonna be a challenge. Yeah. And I'm not gonna shit on this thing. He did, it was a little bit, some of his shit was like, I didn't get it. It was kind of abstract, but the brother brought some facts.
I mean, was it abstract to the point where, okay. I mean, I think it was good if I was another nigga he was debating.
Yeah.
But because we don't debate niggerism, we don't like nationalism, it really blew him out of the water. But I think if he would have took that particular debate and debated somebody else, one of these Bible thumpers, I think it would have came out differently. But it's hard to tell because when you put things up against certain other things, then it could either look crazy or it can look really good.
Well, probably against anybody else. I knew he had bit off more he can chew, and especially when we went to talking, and because I don't think he knew where you was going to come from.
Right.
I mean, how do you anybody, especially just peace and power, brother? What's happening, Lex? Jump on there, man.
Oh, jump on there, Lex. Oh shit, it's gonna be first time. Yeah. Get on here, Lex.
I don't think he knew exactly where you were going to come from. Right. I think when you ask anybody, just the general public, if you say, which one will make Black America better off, money or eating right? Man, you're talking to an impoverished people. Now off the gate, money.
Right.
Money.
Right.
Give me some money. Yeah. So I don't even think he knew where you was going to come from. So the fact that I love one of the points that you made is while you're chasing money, while you're running after this money we don't have, we're giving away billions of dollars that we possess.
Right.
Just because we won't be responsible for ourselves. And my man's like, shit, I'm gonna eat what I want to eat. do what I want to do, how I want to do it, and you better hope I don't do it to you.
Right.
You know, I mean, some real that was some nigga shit. I
Yeah.
mean, at the end of the day, I don't know how to say it because isn't this what we're talking about? No responsibility, no accountability, just do any damn thing. Doesn't that start with yourself?
Yeah.
Isn't
Absolutely.
that some nigga shit?
Right. Right.
I would assume it was. And let me
Yeah.
say this when I say that. Black men at times can resort to nigga shit.
All the time they resort
The
to nigga shit.
question is, can a nigga elevate to being a black man?
Hmm.
That's the difference. A black man at times will resort to some nigga shit. We understand that the nigga is a creation of America. The nigga is a reaction, a negative reaction, an allergic reaction to the black experience. That's what a nigga is. A nigga is a sneeze. Nigga, bless you. Nigga, nigga, nigga is the allergic reaction to the black experience, to the negative
Mm-hmm.
effects, to the negative pressure. This is the negative effects of the black experience, a nigga. So what niggas do, uh, niggas behave negatively towards the advancement, towards anything positive for black people.
Right.
So when you started talking about, well, shit, we got $1 billion in our community right fucking now. All we gotta do is start living better,
Right.
eating better. You don't have to go to the goddamn. You don't have to constantly be spending these health bills and da 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 da. You know, going to this aspirin or that, picking up this pharmaceutical or that pharmaceutical. That money, you actually have that money, and we're giving it away. He's like, shit. I'd rather go get the money to replace the money I'm giving out.
Right. Which is an endless cycle.
Exactly. Lex, what's cracking, man?
Peace. What's going on, man?
What's going
Hey.
on, black man? Man, we just sitting here building, man. Just going over all the little interesting things. Like I was sharing with the community out there. I'm brand new to the YouTube thing. You know, I'm used to
Yeah.
being in them streets. So there's a lot, a lot of things I'm not hip to. But one of the things I find interesting is just the people I run across and the philosophies and shit motherfuckers be pushing. It's funny.
Yeah. It's definitely wild on these YouTube streets, man. It's wild, you know.
Hey man,
Uh
yeah.
so,
So
but it is what it is, man. Yeah, it's social media is the new reality, So you know what I imagine? Can you imagine if Garvey had social media, man?
Right.
yeah,
Or if you know what I'm saying, like
yeah,
people like what they would
yeah,
have did, how
yeah.
many people they could have reached, man, it would have been so we're actually, not utilizing it correctly, you know what I mean? Because I can imagine if Malcolm X was born in this time, you know what I'm saying, where he could just
Yeah.
reach millions of people just from dialing into his phone, you know what I'm saying? So we take a
Hey,
lot
do
of
you
things.
think? Well, let me ask you this, Lex. That's a good question. Do you think that there's a correlation? Do you think with modernity, because it seems like we don't make people like that no more. We don't. Where are the? Think back in the time of Malcolm X. How many leaders? Well, it was Malcolm, Adam Clayton Powell. Whether you accept King or not. Yeah, man, shit. Laurie. Uh, uh, I mean, it just goes on and on. It wasn't like one dynamic leader. It was like that's what we was producing. What do you think happened? Now we good if we get half of fucking Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? What do you think happened?
I think that we're still producing. I think people just don't recognize them.
Okay.
I think if these people were here today on social media, people would be ridiculing them and doing the same, You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get
you
it.
know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
they're still out here, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just that the attitude of today is like nobody's special and nothing's sacred.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's sacred. That's why I'm saying you got people out here, you know, um, basically pissing on the ancestors' graves. Nothing's sacred.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
think about it. We got people today saying Marcus Garvey was a scammer and Malcolm X was gay and then he was you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so if
Yeah.
they was alive, dudes would be making them same videos. Yeah,
Damn, I
guess what
didn't
I
think
found
about
out?
that. Yeah.
Guess what I found out about Marcus Garvey? They be trying to thwart his movement. Yeah, he's a scammer. I mean, because you look at someone like Dr. Umar, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think Dr. Umar is a great leader. You know what I'm saying? I think, but if you look at what we do to Umar Johnson, like when he's trying to build that school, that's the same thing they're saying about Marcus Garvey in hindsight. Oh, he wasn't really, like uh, you know, people are now saying that he was, a scam artist
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
things went wrong.
Yeah.
People are saying but I think Umar was sincere about building that school. I think people say he raised 1 million. We should have gave him 5 million. You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like, I I think that people can't see people's vision. Like what Umar was trying to do is a big vision. It wasn't just like some house,
Yeah.
some
Overnight.
school in the
You,
house.
well, I'm gonna tell you. Here's where I fault. I would say not fault, but where say Umar should have been hipper because Dr. Johnson is a school psychologist or affiliated with psychology. I don't know much about him, and so if
Mhm.
anything, he should have known you don't play with Negroes' money. He should have known about touching money and not having something. Also, I would say I agree with you. I think, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, of course, one of the handicaps of my people is a savior complex. We really want a Masonic figure to come down and have all the answers for us and to make everything right. And so, what happens with that is when a man comes to us and he's brilliant and has wonderful ideas and all of these things. We want to make them the Messiah. And as soon as we go in the bathroom behind him, we say, his shit stink. No, he ain't Jesus.
Right.
You know,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
what I mean. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I would agree with that. That's a tough boat we have with our people. And that's why I'm not a big proponent of religion like that because it doesn't just stay in religious people's books. They actually begin to try to transpose that on society and individuals, and they always get disappointed.
Yeah, yeah. I was I think we overlook a lot of but see there's another side to that too, because then there's I hear a lot of people say that like we're looking for Messiah, but then the other side is people don't acknowledge anybody. You know what I'm saying? It becomes a thing where
Mm-hmm.
I don't worship no one and I don't follow no man, and then now we don't need no leadership at all. You know what I'm saying? So nobody's honored. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be a
Mm-hmm.
balance within that. Like, I mean, there are some messianic figures, but it ain't like Jesus. But there are some people that I believe that are special, that that will play or could play an intricate role in black people's, upliftment. Like, I mean, the greatest teacher of our time is rarely talked about. You know what I'm saying? I think that's Raul Nefer Ahmed.
Mm.
Many people don't even know about Raul Nefer Ahmed. But like,
No, I'm not hip.
he wrote Metal Netter Volume 1, 2, and 3. I mean, you talk about someone who like put together a whole curriculum of healing and psychology along with African culture, you know what I'm saying? But
Mm.
he's ignored. But you know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. It's like, you know, I think
Well,
we're at the point though where, it might be too late. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know about the Masonic figure. I agree with there are special people. Why I don't know so much about a Masonic figure, especially for black people, black Africans here in America, is we have the tendency to try to get away from responsibility, accountability, from pain, from suffering. We want something or someone to take that from us. Now, I do believe in special people in their roles. Like, I'm a spiritualist, so I have a Hogan, I have a voodoo prayer, I have a Babalao. I have people that I consult. It's for in
Mm.
certain aspects of my life, but they are not the be all. Like a Masonic figure to me, what I see people do is they make that figure the authority in every aspect of their existence. And that's what's crazy to me. So like I have a Bible out when I need a spiritual matter, if I want to go to an answer, perform a certain or whatever, I go
Right.
to a person who has dedicated or devoted their life to that. If I'm on the military, if I'm studying revolutionary strategies or military field, I'm going to a defense minister. That's the special person at that
Are
time.
you are you are you part of the Panthers? You in
Yes,
you in the new Black Panther Party?
I'm not new. People's Black Panther.
Oh,
And
okay.
3G and 3GP. I rock with and I rock when I'm in Atlanta, 3GP and with Sister Nandy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, but I used to be a part of the new Black Panther Party and shit, what like some years in the party. But due to a lot of just politics and stuff, we grew our way. But yeah, I know brother Dr. Shabazz, my sister Crystal Muhammad, a lot of these people up there. Uh and I'll put it
Why
out
are
there. I'm
people
national chairman of the People's Black Panther Party. What's up?
why do people like why it seem like people are not feeling the new Black Panther Party for some reason? Like
Um,
why isn't everybody joining the new Black Panther Party? You know what I'm saying? It's like what's going on?
like why is I don't understand quite like why are they splitting or why isn't everyone
You know what I'm saying? Like it's the Black Panther Party, and we got all these people out here, talking about black
But I think
revolution and that, but they're
the
not.
main, because black people believe in the mainstream media. The mainstream media they tells them who your enemies are, who your friends are, and uh, unfortunately, Lex, that's always been a detriment to our people. You know, um, my dad always taught me you make your own friends and your own enemies. Don't let nobody dictate to you who your friends and enemies are. And unfortunately, a lot of black men and women don't have father figures teaching them that, and so the news media becomes your daddy. So, oh, the Black Panther Party is evil. So that's we get a bad flack from that shit. Yeah, the media has always been our enemy. So
mm,
a lot of people won't join because of that, because we're seen as extremists. And we want to just kill white people and just silly shit.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah,
and then it's not and then depending who you run across, like it's like any party when you study like the Cuban Revolution. The Cuban Revolution is made up of very different revolutionary parties. They just eventually got to the point of electing Fidel as the head, but there were different parties that came together. So what you find in the Panther, new Black Panther Party, and the Panther family, the overall Panther family, is different approaches to revolution. So when you go to New Black Panther Party under Dr. Zulu Shabazz, or whether it be under Chairperson Crystal Muhammad, it's the approach to revolution. Some people may not agree with Sister Crystal's approach. Some people don't agree with Dr. Shabazz's approach. Some people don't agree with Brother. I don't think Muhammad is over revolutionary, but whoever's over revolutionary or this or that, you know. So I think it's just about finding a fit. But if you're not a revolutionary and a revolutionary through the Panther vehicle, you don't really, it's hard to understand intra-politics. It's hard to understand who's who, what's what the hell is going on, because all you see is Black Panthers. You're like, what the fuck are they doing? You know, but it's a lot of intra-politics. It's a lot of still COINTELPRO shit going on that's keeping so much bullshit going that it's hard to get a cohesiveness. And the infiltration isn't just on rank and file membership. That shit goes to the top. Some of the head motherfuckers are plants, if you ask me. Some of the top motherfuckers are agents. Some of the top motherfuckers, if they're not agents, at the very least, they're counterproductive, counter-revolutionary from some of the fuck shit that they pull.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough,
so that's the battle, man. You know, that's what we're fighting within a revolutionary organization and trying to wage fucking revolution. It's crazy. Yep.
Do you think in the modern world, like, is the dynamic even the same? Like, I mean, with globalism in effect now, is like the whole black-white dynamic is kind of different now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In terms of, it's like global. It's a global issue. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, things are globalized. It's like worldwide. So, you know, maybe the approach might need to be updated in terms of.
I agree with that.
Know,
it's like
I
now
agree.
white man has become a second thought. Now we're talking about Chinese and we're talking about Arabs. Yeah. So it's definitely we talk about Arabs and Chinese more than we talk about the white man. So yeah,
is that right? I mean, is what's happening is we're catching up.
Right.
You know, it's like you said, Lex. It's always really been a global issue. We just black people now through internet and all of these other access to social media and stuff, they can't hide it from us anymore. It's always been a global issue. We're just now participating in the struggle on that level. I'm sorry, y'all. My chat was down. Peace to everybody that was in the chat. Peace. Yanga, jump on here, man. Jump on here, Nkrumah. Che. So I think that we're just becoming aware of really the globalness of it. And I think this is great. We have an opportunity, a real opportunity to participate in that. We have a real opportunity to participate in that. So, I mean, it's just what we're going to do with it. I think they have a debate coming up. I can't wait to see that. And I hope I'm not speaking prematurely. I believe it's going to be on patriotism versus black nationalism. That shit is going to be a great debate. But
what?
Yeah, I don't want to get. I don't know if they agreed on that title, man. That's why I said I caught that on Strap's interview. So I don't want to jump the gun, throw something out there that probably shouldn't be out there. What I'm saying all that is
claiming to be a black nationalist. I missed that, bro.
Yeah.
Patriot. Who's talking patriotism? Chris,
of course.
Oh my God.
I don't. You know what? I got to find out who those two that's going to debate that again. I'm gonna have to go back and watch. Like I said, it was on Strap's interview. Wow. You know, you can go back and watch that.
Man, fucks that up, I'm gonna have to debate straps. Shit, you can
I
fix
don't
that
think
shit
he.
up.
No, it's not his debate. He's not going to
Oh,
debate that.
gotcha. Oh, okay, okay.
Two
Well,
other people.
whoever.
I want to say Domo and
Someone.
man, Domo and I can't. You got to go back and watch it. I don't want to. Who was it? Domo and see. I want to say Blue, but I'm not certain.
Oh shit. Oh, that's
Or
gonna
I'm
be
not
good.
certain, but it's going to be a hot one.
Okay.
And
That is
then,
gonna be a
if
hot
I'm
one.
not
Yeah.
mistaken, Adomo said that they may not have agreed on that title. Listen, just go back and watch it. You guys
Okay,
are
I
gonna have
will.
me saying something that I'm not 100% on.
Okay.
But go back, check out and watch it again. Shouts out to SBDL. I wanted to
it,
say though about what I was saying when we were talking about. Man, I had a point, and that's why I had my pen and pad. Should have wrote it down. We were talking about globalization. I forgot.
it's natural for any people to be nationalists, yo. Like that's just like
Right.
Right. Good point. Good
You
point.
would
because you
think.
Unless you're a defeatist.
Go ahead, Lex.
yeah, I mean it's not even like a some thing that needs to be conjured up. Like you, every people is basically a nation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even if
That's right.
like you see what I'm saying? Like even in I mean you can be the question is should be can you be a patriot and a black nationalist?
Interesting.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's the
Mm-hmm.
real question, and there's some gray area there. But if you're not a black nationalist, then you're retarded.
Well, you're
Everybody's a
talking.
nationalist. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's just our
You,
people are slow, bro.
right.
I don't know.
You would think it's natural. What we as black nationalists trying to get them do now, Lex, is be purposeful, intentional black nationalists. You know, not to be black nationalists haphazardly or accidentally. When we look at nationalism, when we look at these people who win their freedoms and they talk about nationalizing their resources, what they are talking about is stopping big corporations, the exploitation of their country by foreigners and outsiders, and making sure that their resources benefit their people. This is
Right.
what the black nationalist is saying must be done here in America. It must be an end of exploitation by foreigners of the sapping of black resources. And so, one way we do that, one of the many ways, is by accountable spending. See, black folks can stop wanting to think for their goddamn self. We have to be mindful where those pennies are going. What companies are what, who sponsors who, what politicians, what candidates they endorse, countable, spending. Begin to create. When you go into these, I lived in Cleveland, I lived in New York, I lived in these places where they have what you call ethnic enclaves. And to break it down, I know everybody on my panel knows what that is, but just to break it down, it simply means a neighborhood where one ethnic group lives. And what they do usually when you go in there, they have these halls, like like they had back in the day, like a Tammany Hall. They have these halls. You know what I'm talking about, son? Like these
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
like social
yeah,
clubs.
yeah. Uh-huh.
And these social clubs are there to inform them about politics, economics, candidates, anything that affects them as a community. We don't roll like that. We don't have those people who are brilliant in politics, economics, and all of that coming back, creating these halls, these social clubs, to where we can disseminate information to our people. And then enough for the revolutionaries like myself who are out there on the ground, making sure that this information is broken down enough to where it's digestible to the proletarian and the lumpen, which is simply revolutionary talk to the working class and the everyday person. That's what we're missing. When you talk about the effectiveness of the Honorable the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, as far as galvanizing and motivating and inspiring, one of the things I read about him, they said one of uh, the big draws and attractions to him was just that he was motivating and awe-inspiring. I was reading the memoirs of a Garveyite, and his father was a Garveyite. One of the things that had stuck with me, it jumped out from this passage, was he said his father was a janitor. And when his father would come home, back broke, tired, and everything, until it was meeting night, and said when his father put on that Black Legion, which was the military wing of the UNIA, when he put on that Black Legion uniform, he said his father's back would straighten, fire would dance in his father's eyes. So what Garvey gave Black people was a sense of nationhood. And I think that that's what we don't possess, that sense of nationhood of our own. And so that being, like you said, Brother Lex, that being a natural inclination of man to belong to a nation, to belong to a clan, we give that over to patriotism instead of Black nationalism. We give it
Yeah,
over to patriotism. And Black nationalism is going to be elements of patriotism. I can't knock the Black Panther Tank Battalion. I can't knock the fighting Tuskegee Airmen. I can't knock great Black contributions, even though this is a wicked motherfucking country, based on what we do, which is make human existence better. All of these, all the ingenuity and creations we gave to civilization, that's what we do. Even when you tried to enslave us, or when you did physically enslave us, we still produce. That's what we do. You know, so, but if we don't have a healthy understanding of nation, or start to begin to develop an understanding of nation outside of white America, we will give that natural inclination of belonging to a nation over to patriotism. And that's why you see 4th of July, these niggas running around with red, white, and blue boxer shorts on and all kind of food. I ain't mad at cook your little barbecue, fire your little fireworks, but damn, just damn. Some of y'all just go too damn far.
yeah. I think Black, a lot of people get caught up in what do you call it? You know, things that are associated with Black nationalism. Like, so when you say Black nationalism, the average Black person who's not really educated on revolution and Black history and all that, you know, the everyday Black
Yeah.
person is just, they just have a picture of a dude with some sunglasses and a Kango pumping their black fists. Like, you don't have to be a revolutionary to be a Black nationalist either.
Right.
Like, you can just be
Right.
a regular person, but you're still a nationalist. You just support what's
Black
beneficial
people.
for you, for
Right.
your nation. You don't.
Right.
Not everybody's a revolutionary or a soldier or
Right.
whatever. You know what I mean? You
We're a
might just,
nation.
yeah, you might
We're
just be a doctor. You know what I'm saying?
that's it. That, you know what, Lex? I'm glad you said that. That's what they don't understand. We're a Black nation. You may just be a resident of the nation. You may be an agriculturalist. You may be a
Yeah,
teacher. Everybody's not going to pick up the gun. Everybody's not going. If you're Black, always say Black nationalism is, if you're Black, do shit advantageous for Black people.
right.
Don't do shit that would destroy or harm us. Don't, if you don't like us, tell us this and that. Don't use it as justification. Don't say we inherently evil. Don't use it for the justification of our murder, because we're going to fight against that shit. You
But you
know?
know something, bro? Like, a lot of the answers have already been laid down by the elders. Like, it's just that we don't promote it. Like the blueprint for Black Power, that should be the Bible. That should be in every black person's house. But it's not like that's the Bible, bro, for us. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, Amos Wilson's blueprint
Amos
for Black
Wilson.
Power.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Amos
that
Wilson.
should be like, you know how you go in someone's house and the Bibles, that should be on every
Yeah.
table, you
Yeah.
know, in black people's homes. So it's like all the answers have really been given. I just think that we're forgetting about you know, the elders and ancestors who laid it down. The blueprint for Black Power tells it all. It gives you the whole
That's it.
shebang. You know what I'm
And
saying?
most of us out here, like myself, I would never say I'm bringing a new idea. That's all I do is champion or I build on them because I know everything must move in material dialectics. It says it teaches us about motion. So everything must move or die. I know evolution is a natural process. So all I'm doing is from the teachings all the way back from Martin Delany, who is the father of Black nationalism, through Malcolm, Huey, and the contemporary, some of my teachers, Dr. Ahmed Muhammad, founder of Round Revolutionary Action Movement, and so on and so forth, Aziz Way, who I'm going to have on the show. Some of my more contemporary teachers, it's still those same fundamental building blocks. Like you said, our ancestors have already paved the way. We just have to keep fighting the good fight because while we're evolving and fighting this fight, believe me, our opposition is doing the same thing. Our opposition is studying us and evolving to match our moves, to out yell us, to out propagate us, to out system us, to out just like what was it, Bob? I think it was Bobby Seals. He said they don't outpower us, baby. They just out organize us.
What do you think? All right, black people say, um, Younger and Kruma, you're in charge right now. What is the first step? What's the first thing you implement?
That's a good question. It's funny because I'm a communalist. So my in charge would involve a council. And that's what would be the first thing on the council. What's imperative? That would be my first order today is to call my leaders, like as a Panther, and I'm a communalist, on my central committee, my defense minister is in charge of the defense. He's the leader of defenses. So if I call my council and everybody says we got to defend ourselves, I'm looking to the defense minister. Okay, what? Because he's that special person. He's the black Rambo or the black
So what
whatever.
does he think is step one?
Okay. I think for me, my step one for me, you put me in charge. Step one for me is to continue. I would continue to build the infrastructure that we're building for the inevitable collapse. And that looks like this. In a communities, neighborhoods are broken into sectors. One sector has a house that's a community house. We build alternative. We have pantries, alternative to security. You know, we train in those things, building an infrastructure for the inevitable collapse and demise, and still antagonize the system everywhere I could to promote revolution. I would get I would get in the ears of the most radical reformists to have them propose the most radical shit to the Senate that we know the state wouldn't acquiesce to. I would get on the street. I would have street teams really putting pressure to foreign exploiters of the black community, whatever. And I'm not going to go into detail, but whatever that pressure would look like from the people, I would just intensify everything 100-fold. Everything. I would antagonize everywhere.
You
I
know,
would pick a fight like revolutionaries do.
Yeah.
I
Well,
make them fight.
I believe that I personally am the last hope for black people. That maybe that's just my delusion, but Um, I would the first thing that I think that needs to be established is what I call the black tax. You know what I'm saying?
What
Where
is that?
the black tax is every adult, working adult, um, should pay a monthly tax to the black nation.
Okay. Okay.
So that is, whether it can just be $20. You got to be a card carrying member of black people, and you donate at least $10-20 a month. Now there's probably at least there's got to be at least 20 million working black people, right?
Uh-huh.
Out of the 50 million. I'm just saying, even if we got a million to do that at $20 a month, that would be $20 million a month. But that's just at a million. So if black people implemented a tax on themselves, we need to first of all, form a, a committee, a council of financial gurus, and we need to form a board and an organization for them actually to be able to handle the money and invest the money, and you know what I mean. But it has to be a board, so there's no one person that can do anything without um the other people signing on it. So you know what I'm saying?
Basically like an oversight. Yeah, oversight.
Yeah, and
Getting the
Hmm.
money.
so
Yeah.
we need to form a a corporation to handle the black tax, and from there we kind of form sort of like a black bank or a credit union. And so that right there is how we fund the revolution, because that's the number one thing. And you know what I'm saying? So
Hey
without
Lex, I
that,
like that. I like that, but I didn't mean to interrupt you. But one thing we got to deal with is trust. Because when it comes to black people and trust, boy, woo, that's a tall order. But go ahead, brother. I'm just yeah. I
yeah,
like where you're going, but keep going, keep going,
but
keep going,
that's what
keep going.
needs to happen. And and I've been stressing that, for the past couple of years now. That's the only way we can compete. And
So
unless
what
that
you're saying is we
happens,
got to rely on trust. And then when you talk about trust and money, oh God,
well, it ain't even
Lex.
about trust. It ain't even
It,
about trust. People
Lex, if
don't.
I'm giving you my dollars, it's not only is there a
See,
trust issue, but we live in a microwave society where black people want instant results. A lot of us not in for the long investment and long haul, and that's why a lot of us don't even think about generational wealth. We think about
man,
here and
they
now. I
don't
don't
think
know.
about it when it comes out of their check, man. It's just something. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, good point.
do
It's
they?
a very
Do
good
we
point.
trust the government? But we pay them taxes every
I
week.
agree. I
So
agree.
it has to just be a thing where you mind your business. That is just your obligation to the black nation.
But
You know
then
what
you
I'm
got to
saying?
battle with Lex that black people believe that the white man's ice is colder and grass is green. You got to deal with that shit too. So you're talking about some real deep psychological hangups that black people have, man. And it's like, man, you talking about, and I commend you, man. Salute, because you talking about dealing with some real. Oh my God.
But
Yeah,
That's
you
the
know what
it's
though,
the
son?
only
You know
solution
what?
to the economic problem.
Yeah.
I
You
It's
know
the
agree.
what,
I
only
no,
son?
I
solution.
agree.
He almost, but you know what, son? It's not as far fetched as it, because we do it more than just
No, no,
monthly.
right?
We
No,
got
I
people
agree with
that do it
Lex.
weekly every Sunday.
Yeah. No,
That's what
no,
I'm
no.
saying.
Don't Lex. Please don't
Yeah.
misunderstand. I'm not disagreeing with Lex. I like Lex's ideas. I'm just thinking about this practically because I know how black people think, especially
Yeah.
black women.
But
We in the
I
age
mean,
of
even
the
if we
black
got to
men
go
are
through the government to make it happen, like if we got to take it, like if we can get it a black tax taken out of black people's check from the government itself, you know what I'm saying, to transfer to the black bank or whatever it's going to be, the organization that we form. Like
no,
it just has
we
to be.
they robbed us like that before. No, no, no. During Reconstruction, We had a black bank. What happened? Nobody knows about really, and I'm gonna need somebody in my chat to look at. So that might be what you look at. The black banks we established during Reconstruction and the billions of dollars that after Reconstruction and the whole assimilation thing that just came up missing from all of these so-called freedmen bureaus and Negro free Negro bureaus and shit. So we had a banking system would have to be completely independent from them. I would even say, damn, here's the, and I'm not an economist, so we would have to let our economists do that. But some way it would have to be as limited in capitalism as functionally possible.
Well, that's impossible. That's what I'm saying. And this is why, see, my thing is this. It's either non-participation or we gonna play the game. Because there's no way to get out of, if you play in the game, if once you buy in to the poker table, you're playing the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, and so, that's my thing. And I always say, if we're gonna play the game and considering the divide, right? I don't
uh-huh.
something happened. I'm getting some feedback on some robot. Hello? I think somebody has their background on or something.
That's impossible. That's what I'm saying.
Hello? Hey, yo,
Yeah,
do
I think
y'all
that's
hear this?
Chase. I think that's Chase. Chase, you gotta mute your YouTube, man. Yeah, he just came on. Tell Trey to mute his YouTube.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we gonna play the
he's gotta
game.
mute his. Yeah, okay, go
The
ahead.
only way to deal with the wealth gap is collectively. And it don't have to be like, I don't think it's gonna be hard to convince black people of that in terms of if it's really presented right. Because it's not about, necessarily a revolutionary movement, you know what I'm saying, associated with, those who might not be with the whole blackity black, whatever they call it. It's just, yo, this is just what intelligent people do in order to compete. You know what I'm saying? Like, you pay taxes to the government. So if we're trying to, be a nation within a nation. And so if you want to have your own, if you want to have your own hospitals, you want to have your own, schools and all the stuff. Like, if we had the black tax, we could have been built Umar school. You know what I'm saying? With $1 million a month coming in, we could have been established a lot of the things that we complain about and say we don't have. So I think most black people, even the ones that are not even so-called pro-black, they still have some affinity, you know what I'm saying, for to uplift themselves. So I just think it's the way it's presented. But in order to compete in capitalism in this economic world, we have to do it collectively at this point to catch up. And so it's either
I agree. I
it's
agree.
either unify or die. I mean, it's simple, you know what I mean? So, it that you can try to rationalize and talk about all the hangups we have, but I mean,
No,
either
like I
you
said,
gonna
I like
unify
it.
or
I
die.
like it, Lex. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I don't really see no other way economically in terms of funding all the things we want to do. And ultimately, with that black tax, you know what I'm saying, then it comes to the problem we have, right, is that we don't have a land of our own. So an another thing has to happen. We either got to get dual citizenship with another country, an African country or some other country, or we have to seek out some type of land to call our own. When other people come, you know how other people say, well, you know, these foreigners come here and they get together and they build businesses and all that. But what they're doing is funneling that money. They have a base. See, black people have a unique situation because we are Americans at the end of the day, while being second class citizens are, but we are Americans. So there's no home base in a sense to build up. You know what I mean? We should be seeking out a land of our own, or we need dual citizenship somewhere where we can uh funnel. We have a place to funnel the money that we make here to build up whatever we want to do. Because I think the bottom line is as long as we're here under the American government, you know, I mean, we're under the government. We'll never be sovereign or free. I mean, how much are you going to do within somebody else's government? Unless you're talking about taking over the government, which is unrealistic at this point in time. So the goal should be an independent black nation. And I think that's the problem when we have a lot of these conversations. There's never an end goal. What is the end goal? Think about it. No, I ask people that all the time, and there's never really an answer. I hear people talking about, well, we gotta get it together economically, or we gotta start buying black, or doing it. But for what? To what? To
Right, right.
prosper in America? So the end goal has to be an independent black nation. That has to be the end goal. Or what are we doing? Because at the end of the day, we want to be in charge of our own destiny. We'll never be able to do that under the American government. Now we can utilize this government and economically and make them up, but we need a place to funnel that money to. Just like when Mexicans come here, they're sending money back to Mexico. When Africans come here, they're sending money back to their countries. When other people come here, a lot of people come here just to take care of their families overseas. You see what I'm saying? But we're stuck in a conundrum because where are we going? At the end of the day, if you make $1 million, you are still in America and you still a nigga. You're not controlling the policies. You know what I'm saying? And the laws. We will never be free until we seek our own nation. I mean, there's islands for sale out here, and that don't mean
Please.
everyone gets to move, but we need a spot. We need a satellite location. Like, this is our spot and it's sovereign. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I think that has to
Let's
be the end
let me
goal. Okay.
let me send my shouts out. I had to dip on y'all for a minute, but I know you was holding it down, Lex. What's up, Che? Let me send a shout out to Che. What's going on, brother?
What's up,
Yeah, you
Connection
breaking
terrible.
up.
I didn't catch all of that.
You may need some headphones, bro. So
Yeah, you were coming in and out, Che, but I didn't. So, like I said, Lex, and I hate I had to step away. I had a super important phone call, so I missed some of it. But I know
I
I
was
caught in the beginning when I stepped away. You were
Well,
talking
Lex
about
talking about actually talking about the end game. I was like, oh shit.
the
okay.
end game. I was saying that the reason why I think there's a lot of confusion, and because we don't have an end goal, and the end goal is an independent black nation,
Yeah,
and that it has to be on everyone's mind. Or what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? I mean, just becoming rich niggas in America. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, most of us see that. I think that's what happens to some people. That's their end goal. To some people, they feel like just complete inclusion. This is what we call the reformists, or even radical reformists. Some people really want to beat, fight, crawl, kick, and scream their way into complete inclusion into the American system. And I'm one of those people just don't believe that that's ever going to happen. So there's a lot of various end goals. My end goal, I agree with you. So I'm actually a citizen of the Republic of New Africa, which, you know, I'm hoping to see to come to fruition. And if not me, then eventually for my children's children or something. But
The
I agree.
Republic of New Africa, is that a government being established?
Yes. It's the government of New Africa, the provisional government of the Republic of New Africa, or a group of black nationalist separatists who want the 5 states in the South. What is it? Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, and Georgia.
Okay. Well, I like
And
the idea, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And the 5 states, you know, I mean, bro, there's whole islands for sale, bro. There's whole islands for sale out here. You know what I mean? Like, you're still gonna be within even if that was to happen, you'd be like within America's borders, and this, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, you
Uh,
would be. They would definitely had you. Should that ever be realized and brought to fruition, hell yeah, you're gonna be like North Korea and South Korea. You're gonna be like Palestine and Israel.
well,
You're
you
gonna have
wouldn't even
tensions
be
on the
like
border.
that. You wouldn't
Huh?
even be like that because you like in terms of economic and military power it wouldn't even be a contest. You
No,
know,
it wouldn't.
especially being that close.
It
Why
it
not
it
just
isn't
seek a new land outside of
it, it
America though?
but it isn't a contest with North Korea and South Korea either. South Korea will wipe well no, North Korea will wipe South Korea off the damn map. But it's a political
But
game. It's about allies. Huh?
America's in South Korea though.
Hey, there you go. Exactly. So
That's
if
what I'm
we ever
saying.
got to the point, if we're just talking like got to the point where that would be a fruition, where we got those states and was recognized as our own nation, I do hope you know we would have allies. It's all a political game. So
Yeah, but
it's not like, huh? It's we
America is
would be
not
like,
letting your allies set up shop in America though.
you say
Like
what?
they don't even America's not letting your allies set up. Like let's just say you did get 5 states in America and you started becoming allies with the Russians, and the Russians say, "Okay, we're gonna come set up a military base." Yeah, right.
Well, if you get 5 states in America, you didn't fall. It's already going to be, we're not asking to be a colony of America. We're saying a nation. We want those 5 states to be ours, not to be an American colony. We know that a fight is going to ensue. What we just really are putting together is an end game. We know all the kinks don't work out, but we're saying this is the end game. This is what we want. This is what must happen. And everything that we do from independent political parties, our spending is gearing towards this independence, this self-determination. So we know a fight is going to be had with the oppressor, but we're saying when we're a nation, we don't give a fuck. We'll ally who we want to ally ourselves with. And what comes
Yeah,
with it
I
will
hear
come
you,
with
but
it.
it's just still on like in the why not just get a land outside of America though? You see what I'm saying? Like inside the US is still gonna you're still gonna be subject to some degree, even if you it's just like Indians are supposed to be sovereign nations in America, but they still under the federal government. You know what I'm saying?
There's even if
Wouldn't
we
it
got
just
an
make sense?
island,
There's
if you
land outside of America.
but even there's is there uninhabited land? That would be one of the first questions.
Yes.
Who are
Yes.
we displacing? Secondly, anywhere you go that you're not willing to build, defend, or anything, is still you're still subject to the horrors of being right next to America. Imperialism is real, so I don't believe there's anywhere you can run and escape the clutches or the reaches of imperialism. You're
Yeah,
gonna
but
fight somewhere. You're gonna have to stop, turn around, and swing.
no, I mean there's been people who've already declared themselves nations. Like you look up Liberland, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, imperialism is gonna be everywhere, but if you find a land that's, outside of America and doing your own thing, you have a much better chance at thriving and being independent. Like, I mean, I don't ever think first of all, America's not giving up 5 states. You know what I mean? And I'm not. Well, I
Exactly.
won't say, because everything is possible. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be more realistic to get some land where you don't even have to fight America for no land. You know what I'm saying?
I
I was
I'm
looking, bro. Look up um private islands, bro. I seen there's huge islands, bro, for sale out here. Huge,
I
huge islands.
but brother, I'm gonna tell you, I still think two things happen. One, you still run the risk of the same thing happening to you on an island that will happen to you in America. They're not gonna allow you anywhere you go. Nobody's gonna allow you independence. You're gonna have to fight for that shit. Whether you're on the island, whether you're next to
Nah,
them,
not in today's world.
that's one. And let me say
You have
this
the right
secondly.
to declare independence, bro. There's people
You
who've
exactly.
already done it.
You
You don't have to be a
exactly. And
threat
you
to
have
no
to
one else to be independent.
exactly. So I
Yeah, but
don't
Lex, the thing
really
is,
see we're going to an island. And secondly, and I say why? Because not only cultivating the island, you're talking about America, which is a capitalist country, and we know what capitalism was founded on, and it needs a enslaved class. It needs a lower class. Between child support, probation, parole, and every other trumped up bullshit they keep Black America on, how many people really are they going to allow to leave the shores? So you're going to be fighting to get off the fucking shores of America. They're not going to allow their money to walk away scot free. They're not freeing their slaves. They're not going to let us get on no boat and go to an island. The same way, like
Well,
you
I
said, they
mean,
want to give us 5 states.
all 40 million of us are not gonna leave. That's gonna be like just like the home base that's building up it's just like a base. You see what I'm saying? That because
Yeah, I do.
yeah, it's just a base. Like, what I mean, it might only be a million Black people living, what I'm saying, in that other land. But the thing is, now there's a place to funnel your money to. You see what I'm saying? Just like other
I don't know.
people do.
I do see what you're saying, and like I have a lot of friends that are repatriationists. So I do see what you're saying, and I, a lot of their arguments are very sound. Just being a Black nationalist, I just maybe call it nostalgia, call it attachment to a certain understanding, culture, understanding, soul, whatever. I just am not a big proponent of repatriation, of leaving, of finding another place, of exoduses, and all of those types of shit. As far as I would go
Okay.
as one of those 5 states, I just so happen to be in Georgia, as is, but one of those 5 states in the South that we know the land, we can cultivate the land, irrigate the land, we're from that land, so yeah, I definitely would advocate that as being
Mm,
a solid solution. And it's
mm.
founded in something. When we were freed from slavery, or allegedly freed from slavery, like many people have heard me say, we weren't given the right of self-determination. They didn't say, hey, do you want to go? Do you want to go back to Africa? Do you want to go establish your own type of understanding? Or do you want to be a part of this American nightmare that we're creating for your Black ass? They never gave us the option. So, yeah,
Well,
we're well within our rights to say we want to carve out a
what
piece.
about
What's up, Che?
Liberia?
Yeah, look at Liberia. What's up, Che?
What's up? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
All right, so I've been listening to this whole conversation and I have heard nothing about reparations.
right
Um,
on.
Nothing about reparations. This country owes us. We built this country. There'll be no United States of America without our blood, sweat, and toil. So where are our reparations? And I hear what the brother's saying about this black tax, but again, history has shown us about the Freedmen Bureau. We cannot trust this government with our money. We created banks after the Civil War, and they
Yep.
stole the money.
Stole the where the money? Where
This
is
is
the
why we put the
money?
money in the mattress. This is why we put the money in the backyard. This is
Exactly.
why we put the money in the wall. So
Say, Jay,
where are we supposed to
say
go?
that
Our whole thing
again.
is
I don't.
we've been fighting racism, white supremacy since day one on this soil right here. We don't have to go anywhere. This country is as much our country as anybody else. In fact, it's more so our country than anybody else because we fought and died in every single war this country's ever had. So I'm not running anywhere. This is stick and stay. And I
Right
agree,
on.
if they give the 5 states, like the new African Republic is suggesting, that would be a good start. But we got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And we're going to start on this soil. If that means we have to build our own communities like we did 100 years ago during Black Wall Street, during Rosewood, during all the black towns that we had 100 years ago, so be it. But we got to start somewhere. The only thing that we have to learn from the mistakes of the past is we need a military structure to defend whatever it is that we build. A lot of black people are scared to build again because we don't have a military structure to defend anything that we build. So whatever we build, we have to have a military structure to back it up. And I have to jump off, Yanga. I listen to the Black Authority every Saturday. I support all the new black media. I support what you brothers are doing. Appreciate you allowing me to speak. I was having technical difficulties, but I'm here now.
And I appreciate that, Jay. The Black Agenda, that's on what time's that come on?
Right now at 6 o'clock. The Black Authority. And
the
make
Black
sure
Authority.
Frontline Black News. We're gonna have an episode tonight at 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
On you and it's YouTube. The channel is Frontline Black News.
Yes, the YouTube channel is Frontline Black News. Make sure you like and subscribe to it. And we're on Facebook as well under the same name, Frontline Black News.
All right, and the other, and where you're about to go now, Che, now is where?
The Black Authority.
YouTube?
Yeah.
All right, that's the channel, man. Black Authority. Subscribe and like Black Frontline News. Subscribe and like my man Che. Yep, my man Che and Kruma. My other part. Where my partner at, man? What's Seduction?
She should be jumping on. She's probably asleep right now. You know, we had got the C-19, so we've been recovering from that.
I'm in recovery too, man. So okay, I dig that. All right, brother. I may, see you over there. If not that, man, Frontline. I'm gonna try to stay up to the Frontline Black News. We got like a couple hours difference. It's 6 o'clock your time, right?
Yep.
Okay, so it's 8 o'clock my time. So Frontline Black News comes on what?
At 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So it'd be 12 o'clock your time.
Okay. I'm gonna try to hang out.
Okay, I'll send you the link in Facebook Messenger so you can get on.
That's what's up, man. All right, Che.
All right, peace, y'all. Black Power.
Peace, Black Power. That's my man, Che and Kruma, man. Big thing, strong black nationalist, running for mayor in Colorado, doing real big things, man. It was an honor to meet that brother and run across him. Because that's what we talk. Like I said, I'm a revolutionary. My thing, I follow the line of Kwame and Nkrumah. If you would look to Europeans, you would probably say Lenin. And I do believe that the seizure of political power is very necessary to kick off real to begin to really help boost the revolution. I believe like Ernesto Che Guevara said, he said, wherever there is a democracy or the semblance of a democracy, armed conflict to put the people in power is not the solution. So, you know, the people have to understand the contradictions and the very policies and legislations that the oppressing ruling class put in play every day to keep us like fucking zombies, just working out this routine, and we're comfortable in this rut with no aspiration for any future for ourselves or our children. We're fine having children and just feeding them into this machine. The best we offer our children is to go to school so you can get a good job. And some of us think we really offering them something by telling them participate in or entrepreneurialism, own your own business, boy. And all of that to a degree, you know, is right. Lex dropped off. I ate a lost Lex. All of that to a degree is right, but it's not purposeful or intentional. It's trying to find a solution in this system, you know, and there is no solution working in cooperation with the system. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know we have to work within the system. We're not saying that. We don't operate and we don't live inside of a vacuum. Let's be realistic. So, yeah, of course we have to work within the system. But do we work in complete and total cooperation with the system? That's why you see before revolutions, resistance fighters. That's why it's guerrilla movements. You see they pass out flyers when certain propaganda is outlawed, when certain groups become outlawed, when revolutionary groups become outlawed. You see them resorting to resistance move. They're passing out the flyers. They're doing all of these resistant tactics, which are revolutionary. And you see them doing all this at night with the bandanas over their face, and in the morning they're going to the factory. They're still operating within the system. They're still going, but they understand what they're doing, like George Jackson said. Field Marshal George Jackson said. He said that the revolutionary must come to grips with being an outlaw. Because if eventually, at some point in time, the actions of a revolutionary will contradict the laws of the state. The state is not there for the people. The revolutionary is there for the people. Black revolutionary is there for black people. So there will come a point of time that your actions, your speech will be criminal to the state apparatus, to the state apparatus. It's going to be criminal. How can it not be? The state is an instrument of the ruling elite. And so they're there to keep you in compliance, to enforce your compliance, your participation if it's no longer willful. So there's going to come a point in time that the revolutionary, through action, speech, is going to come into conflict with that. And we have to be prepared and ready for it. And we have to be prepared and ready for it. So this is what the revolutionary, so the revolutionary doesn't just drop out. The revolutionary doesn't just, say, okay, if I can't beat them, join them. Or if I can't beat them, I'm just going to cross my hands across my chest and not do anything. No, the revolutionary is one who takes every and any opportunity to not only advance their particular cause, but if need be, or if the opportunity presents itself, throw a monkey wrench in the cogs and mechanism of the oppressing system, of the oppressive system. Everything down to like accountable spending, or like what our brother Black Sun pointed out in his debate yesterday, eating healthy. Eating healthy. Very revolutionary. Not only does it make you feel better, again, he pointed it out in his debate, but it saves the trillions of dollars that are already in our community, the billions of dollars that we already possess, that we're giving out haphazardly You know, we're giving out nilly-willy because we refuse to check our appetites. God damn it. I mean, at some point in time, you got, you can understand why people say, are these people complete idiots? It's a monkey trap. How many of you out there know what a monkey trap is? I explain what a monkey trap is. The people who used to hunt monkeys would have a box, a metal box or something, and they would weld a shiny object into the bottom of the box. And the monkey will stick his hand in the hole. At the top of the box is a hole. And he sticks his hand in the hole and grabs the shiny object in the bottom of the box. Now, remember, it's welded, so he can't pull it out. And he's sitting there yelling, yanking at this thing that's welded to the bottom of the box, yelling, alerting the hunters that I'm in the trap. Now, here's the hell thing of it. If the monkey would just open his hand and release the object, he could pull his hand out of the box. A monkey trap. They have a lot of us, they have the Negro. A lot of us in monkey traps, afraid to let go. And we yell and yell and yell about not being able to bring the silver object out of the box. We yell about equality to white people. We yell about inclusion. We yell about our right to sit at counters or to sit here or to be treated or to spend my money. Crack, I don't want to take my money, discriminating. We yell and yell and yell in the monkey trap. Let it go. Just let it go. And we begin from the letting it go is the first step of destroying, like Taz would say, the paradigm. It's destroying the paradigm, and we can begin the process of rebuilding. Because when you let it go, even and especially if it's a necessity, but when you let it go, you will naturally begin to substitute that thing. You will, when you let that go, especially if it was essential to your existence or your development. But even if it's just something that you liked or needed, you will begin to find a way to fill that void. Let it go. And 9 times out of 10, the thing you have let go, that the thing you let go and the thing you choose to replace it with will be better. Because what you let go was given to you by your oppressing ruling class anyway. It probably wasn't any good for you. So we let it go. Look, I'm going on 2 hours, man. That's a run for me. I'm going to call it a wrap. Go check out my man again. Check out my man's stations. He was telling you about Black Authority.
Yeah.
You said what?
I said, I'm going to meet you over there again. Yeah.
I can say it one more time, my son.
What is it called? Black Authority?
Yeah, Black Authority.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's check my man out on Black Authority and Black Frontline News. With that, man, I appreciate everybody hanging out. Son, I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me, bro.
Appreciate you, brother.
Poetic, thank you. Always on
Poetic.
your job, Queen.
Oh, shit, Poetic, hey.
Yeah, man, Poetic does her thing. Thank you so much, Queen. And with that, man, I'll see you when I see you. There again, check me out. Hit like, subscribe to my page. And if not, if you don't hear me out, check out the Queen. Check me out at the camp, man. Check out Queen Nundy. Subscribe and like her page. I'm going to leave you as I greeted you. All powers to oppress people, African power to an African people, and Black power.